Clownfish and friends. Whenever a person is asked to identify a clownfish, they may make reference to the clownfish Nemo in the film Finding Nemo. The typical Nemo clownfish has 3 white stripes over an orange color, which makes this unique fish one of the most popular marine fish in the trade. With this being said, many hobbyists over time have successfully captive bred these fish to create very unique, rare looking designer clownfish. Clownfish could be in colors red, yellow, black or pink. Although there is a need to properly cycle the reef tank with the correct salinity, monitor water parameters and temperature beforehand, these small fish are very easy to care for. For a reasonably small sized tank, a pair of clownfish are suitable for anyone starting their journey to set up a salt water tank. Clownfish require water temperatures of around 24 to 28 degrees Celsius or 75 to 82 degrees Fahrenheit, specific gravity of 1.020 to 1.025 and a pH of around 8.2. They will mainly consume frozen and live foods such as brine shrimp and mysis shrimp. Clownfish can also be trained to eat fish pellets or fish flakes. Here in my fish tank, my snowflake ocellaris clownfish enjoys the premium quality dry fish food. They could be fed a live food diet, but I've made it simple, whereby I use high quality fish food without the need for thawing frozen foods. Frozen foods, if not properly fed, can lead to unwanted waste and producing unwanted nutrients in the tank. My clownfish also enjoy the availability of live copepods in the tank. Copepods are very tiny specks in comparison to the rest of the tank. There are hundreds of them crawling along the glasswork. These small crustaceans provide another food source for my clownfish. Copepods are often a positive sign of a thriving and stable environment within this reef tank. Bicolour blenny fish are one of the clownfish friends. They're a small fish with a whole lot of character. These marine creatures originate from the warmer temperatures of Indonesia, Fiji, and Sri Lanka. They generally prefer water temperatures of around 24 to 28 degrees Celsius or 75 to 82 degrees Fahrenheit. These bottom-dwelling fish often spend most of their time perched on rockwork and crevices of the reef. With the slightest hint of danger, these creatures may quickly dart away. Within the reef keeping trade, bicolour blennies are generally reef safe. They grow to a max size of 4 inches, which is 10.16 centimeters, which makes them a perfect choice for any marine aquarist. That being said, they can be quite territorial or aggressive to their blenny counterparts. Thus, having one type of blenny in a reasonable sized tank is advised. Common sense should be exercised before mixing them with larger or more carnivorous species, which may view the blenny as food. Bicolour blennies are omnivorous creatures, feeding on small crustaceans, as well as algae film and turfs. They are not too picky and would generally accept most fish food and the occasional seaweed. If these creatures are underfed, they can often irritate coral or clams by nipping at them. In my tank is the bicolour blenny, with its two-tone colours of a dull blue and yellow. My cute little blenny loves perching on a rock or poking its head out from the crevices. It enjoys following the clownfish pair in the tank, often forgetting that it is not a clownfish and could possibly get stung by the anemones. It is fed daily with pellets and on occasions some nori seaweed. Trochus and turbo snails alike are a vital part of the reef hobbyist's cleanup crew and clownfish circle of friends. They are predominantly herbivores. These creatures will roam the tank in search of algae, such as diatoms, cyano, macro, and phyll. The difference between a trochus snail and a turbo snail is marked by its appearance and its usefulness in the tank. The trochus snail is quite distinct in its cone-like appearance. They prefer roaming on the rocks of the reef in search of food rather than along the sandbed or glass of the tank. A unique feature that a trochus snail possesses is the ability to flip themselves back over if they suddenly fall off and land on their back. They are reef safe and help to keep algae from overgrowing the reef tank. Trochus snails are an easy to care invertebrate for any reef hobbyist looking to care for these creatures. The turbo snail has a more curved appearance to its shell. In comparison to the trochus snails, they are generally smaller in size. A small amount in captivity can turn into hundreds very quickly, as they can breed easily. As you can see in the tank, the trochus and turbo snails prefer the rockwork of the tank. The white specks of rock you see are actually baby turbo snails that have been growing in the small nooks and crannies of the rock. They will need to make it out safely in time before they get too big to get out. A benefit of having a turbo snail over a trochus snail is their ability to eat hair algae, which can be quite a nuisance for a reef hobbyist to control. I've been fish keeping for 5 years now, and this hobby is one of the most rewarding yet challenging hobbies that I've ever experienced. This hobby can be quite rewarding and joyous.